Okay, y'all want to go to my channel? Yeah. I want you to go and see if you can see it. I've been up for about 20 seconds. Get my dinner out of here. I enjoyed it. Hey, have you pulled my channel up yet?
How do I? What do I do with the?
Go to YouTube and go to Roosevelt Brown, and I'm live right now. Do this real quick. What do you see? What's that? You see? You see? You see me live. You see me live. So I'm coming through the television. All right. It's a little delayed. I want to call this running from truth. I haven't put any tags on it or anything, so it'll probably be as things usually are. I don't have a lot of subscribers, if any. What, I think I have about 40 subscribers. I don't have a chat up here for anyone to watch. But it's interesting. I just got off of a live broadcast with a brother Prince Dynas Amir. Oh, salute, props. Shout out to the brother. He's doing some things. Search for Uhuru. Prince Dynas Amir. You know, it's very interesting. I call this running from truth. It's very interesting how no matter what the crisis, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what the political controversy or terror is going on in the earth, our people always find a way to make someone else responsible for helping us, prodding us, or provoking us. And in that mindset, we fail to see the obvious. And I'm making this video because I usually watch Brother Prince, but when I heard one of the brothers from the motherland here, as this land is commonly called, uh, shout out to Ghana, shout out to the people of Ghana, uh, Ghana where, you know, um, Ghana Wear KNK57. Shout out to the designer of this attire. Our people obviously are letting the creator be the immediate situation that we're dealing with, or the people that are ruling over us. I heard a brother, he was born here in Africa. Every one of us has some connection to this land here. I don't care what you want to say. I don't care if your great, great, great was in America. You have a connection to this land here because this land is the center of the earth and you are the preeminent man of the earth. And many of you are darker than me. Anyway, that being said, it's a brother from the motherland. He made a statement. He said, Black Americans are confused. They are in that land calling themselves Christians, Muslims, Hebrew Israelites. They practice Judaism. And I think he even went into the gender thing, where people are calling themselves trans this, trans that. But he made a blanket statement that he said all of it was confusion. And it really grabbed me because when he threw in the term Israelite, and most people don't know what that word means, but it is a word that we have come to associate historically with the diaspora. In other words, those of us who were displaced from a land other than the nations that we went to, the United Kingdom, United States, Jamaica, Haiti, Costa Rica, Canada, wherever you found yourself as one of the melanated peoples of the earth. And I say he made a general statement. He made a statement that was specifically targeted to, I guess, criticize or throw shade, or in his attempt, maybe compassionately, to correct us. But when he lumped those of us who, by our history, by our bloodline, and by our inner consciousness, have come to recognize that we are the children of Israel, then I had to jump on the panel. And every time I deal with this subject, I call this video Running from Truth because it is amazing how the whole world is looking at what is written in the Bible, in the Apocrypha, and not seeing at all that the so-called Black man's problem is easily summarized, concluded, and remedied by the history that is in that book. Not the religion, the history. The history. You see, in the discussion, the subject was centered around the culture of so-called Black people. And the argument was that all of these celebrities and wannabe celebrities and personalities and social media posers, and the argument was that our culture is crap, and we don't have a culture, and our culture is being destroyed because these celebrities are being courted, being endorsed, and they are making broad statements, and whether it's shaking their rumps or speaking derogatory things against one another, women in particular, whether they're getting high or chasing money. That's the culture of the so-called Black man. Hip hop, rap, and all things put forth by the media that at the right time, here comes this projection of shameful activity and behavior. My argument was that that is not our culture, and that you can't have a culture without a land. And you certainly are not put forth as having a culture when the narrative is coming from a man who you are under politically, socially. For those of you who don't like the word under a man, it's only a word that describes the position that you are dealing with politically, socially, commercial. All things institutional in the Western world, you are under. And the only way you can even understand, know, comprehend, and exhibit a culture is to be out from under that. Because everything else that you're doing is as a result of you getting along and compensating for what you don't have. A viable infrastructure that portrays you and puts you forth as the person who you are, the ruling class in the earth. Oh, I know. I think I was speaking, and I think the host, my brother, I really appreciate my brother. He offers a platform, and also, if you get a chance, go to search for Uhuru, Prince Dinesh Amir, and pick up his DVD. Pick up his DVD, search for Uhuru. But Dinesh, he always gets a kick out of me before he has to get me, okay, kind of tone it down. But here's my statement. You are struggling, not knowing who you are, not knowing what to do. Because in spite of your humility, being strapped by Roman law, that I don't care what you say, I don't care what you try to organize, Roman law is never going to create a platform for you to do anything other than be a subject. Can you dig it? That's the agenda. That's the piece. Petey, can I get a light in here? That's the agenda. That's the piece. Roman law was created so that you would not know your own laws. Roman law was created so that you would feel internationally you had no authority to implement anything, thank you, baby, in the form of law, nowhere in the world. Roman law was imposed on you as as a replacement for the law that you were created with and the law that governs the world. As a matter of fact, the law that you were given through the covenant governs the universe. And everybody wonders why the so-called black man is still making progress. It's another point I touched on. Everybody wonders why the black man is still making progress. In other words, we're making steps toward getting our thing together. We are getting there. We are working on it. We're getting there. And we got people coming forth as voices for us. And if they don't get shot in the head, they get politically destroyed or assassinated, internet assassination, all the little funny things that keep a progressive step going in circles. A progressive step, mind you, that we were never created to adhere to or desire. We weren't created to be measured as this class of people who are finding our way. I hope this can go straight into the wall here. Let's see. Oh, I know where it goes. It can go into the. It can go into. Yeah, step down right there. Thank you, appreciate it. No, not that. Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't pull. Just waste it. I need something to erase it.
Okay, here. All right. Let's see. That's better. Is this Phoenix night? Is it?
It's usually brighter. It seems to be brighter than that.
Is this yours?
Or is that her?
No, this goes to my camera. Ask her for a remote. Thank you.
Yes.
We were never created to be the product of someone's graph or chart. Black people finally making progress. Black people have accomplished this. The first person to go to the moon. The first black senator. The first black judge, chief justice. The first black to have a law firm. The first black to make the major leagues pro. I'm not throwing no shade on certainly none of our celebrities, sports personalities, but I'm disgusted at how culture for us is relegated to platforms of entertainment, parties, social events. And it's always subject to the barometer of progress or failure. Thank you, Andy. What have you? Progress or failure in any environment that we're in. You guys, I almost don't want to say this early, even though I mentioned it. at the beginning of this video. Largely due to our religious experience, most of us growing up, if you're so-called Black, you had some kind of religious experience. And largely due to the manipulation and the literary spell that was cast on us when certain writings were translated and put forth and commercialized and just beat into us over and over again. These circumstances, these conditions, these actions have made it so that we don't look in the Bible. We don't look in the Apocrypha. Most of us don't even know what the Apocrypha is. And we don't see not only our plight as it relates to us being migrants and wanderers. I hear people talking about America is our land and we should fight for it. You are a migrant here. You, as a matter of fact, you are a kidnapped descendant. You're a descendant of the people who were kidnapped. And even those of you who say, and I believe many of the melanated peoples were here, even those of us who say that, you have always been a migrant, you've always been a wanderer, and you have always been at the behest of any power that has come and seized what was yours. So even those of you who say we are indigenous to the Americas, you're still ignoring what's written in the book. Because what's written in the book is there is a people who were placed on this earth first. And they are the only people who were ever instructed to take authority and dominion over the earth. But for some reason, throughout every century, they keep waiting for someone to give them permission to do that. They keep waiting for someone to get out of their way so that they can do that. And they keep relating to whoever they are under. Remember, economically, socially, politically, institutionally. They keep relating to whoever they are under as if this person's construct is their creator. And they will deny that as they continue to submit to the circumstance and disagree with one another. That's why I say you're running from the truth. You're running from the truth. And more than the so-called white man and all of his mazes that he set up, and he has, and he is the most brutal, the most terrible, the most frightened, the most cowardly terrorist that has ever walked the planet. No. Don't none of you say, well, there's some Black people that's wicked too. Well, let me take it this far. There's no such thing as Black people. Here in Africa, I'm seeing some beautiful dark people, but none of them look like this. You guys, you're running from the truth. And you're waiting for someone to give you permission to be the only thing that you can be. A person that no matter whatever culture you're in, no matter whatever land you're in, you fight to have your own independent thought about yourself and your ability to create and your destiny to rule the earth. And for those of you who hear that and you laugh and say, I'm unrealistic, you are among the most pitiful among us. You have been psychologically duped into thinking that slavery or being subservient to another man is a skill. And so you measure all of your success by how successful you are in a system that was rigged against you. And as the book said they will do, and as they are doing now, you ignore the reality that they have always crashed what you have considered stable and prosperous. And they're racing to crash it again. And all of your so-called success in life is connected to how well you're doing in this system that they control. Now, to some of you, this may sound far-fetched, it may sound meandering, it may sound pointless. But I'm going to tell you, to the degree that you can't grab this, to that degree, you're running from the truth. Because the truth is that the man who is controlling the world through terrorism and manipulation that he always blames on the victims of his terrorism and his manipulation. You can't see it. You complain about what he does, and then to those of us who keep the light shine on what he does, you tell us, stop talking about him. He's not our problem. And if you're struggling with hearing that you suck as a slave because that's not your skill. Your skill is rulership. If you're struggling with hearing that, it's because you're running from the truth. And I'll just ask you a question. If what I am saying about you running from truth because you cannot see that yourself is the only true ruler that was ever given right to rule the planet, the whole earth, that's your position. If that is not true, and if you don't think you're running from the truth when I tell you that that's your position, then why? If I'm making a false statement, then why are you so restless? I'm not talking about the buffoons among us that have readily just thrown themselves into the mercy of Dudley Do White, the so-called white man. Every chance they get, they're trying to destroy the imagination of confident, melanated people on the earth. It seems they live to let all you black niggas know that my white man or my white woman is better for me than I am for myself. If you're not running from the truth, then why are you so restless and so unhappy and in such denial about the millions of so-called black people that have worked hard all their life and have nothing but a retirement pension, if that, and a bunch of physical ailments because they were never instructed how to eat right. And even those of us who have, they have to get way out of the neighborhood that they live in to get a store with the fake health foods in it, because you never really had your own land, never been taught how to farm, and you've never had your own money. And if you think that your success, your prosperity, your ability to find your culture is connected to anything that you have done in the Western world, I don't care where you are, Great Britain, divided snakes of America, I don't care. If you think that your prosperity is connected to any subculture that you lived in, because that's what every culture is, even the ones that rule over you, they're subcultures. You are the enculturated people of the planet. You are the people who were given culture, who were given law. And if you think any of these cultures that we as a people are subservient to have prosperity and success connected to your involvement with them, you're running from the truth. Because the truth is, before you were born, now in your lifetime, and if you don't change something about how you think in your future, the truth is you've never gotten what you want, and you've never received the wealth and the prosperity that would satisfy your labor. Your ancestors died poor, so miserable on this earth that all they could look forward to was the afterlife. I'm not shunning them. I'm not throwing shade on them, because the afterlife is more real than you think. And it's not going to be an ethereal world where people are floating around. It's going to be right here on earth. But you're running from the truth. So that's why you think that this construct that you have been imprisoned in is your key to prosperity. Truth be told, there is nothing for you in the Western culture. And you running from the truth is the reason why you can't let go of this man's hand. Now, another subject that came up is those of us who have left, as Go Black to Africa says, damn Erica. I don't have to talk about the land. I don't have to talk about the people over there, certainly not the people over there, because my family, my friends over there, my loved ones in America. But the construct where the imagination of our people is so fixated on what is in front of them in media and what is in front of them in all these institutions that you have no frame of reference when it comes to being independent. You're still waiting for a leader to deliver you into your place of authority and peace and freedom. And you're running from the truth. Because just like nobody is breathing for you, just like nobody goes out and gets a job for you, this thing called dominion, authority, and the power to rule, nobody's going to give that to you, because they can't give you what they have no power to control. And they've only made you think they can give you what you were created with and what you were born to live in. So get ready. The nations are poised to go to war. Some of you might be predisposed to fight in that war. Let me respectfully say to you, it would not make sense for you to. You see, this war is the war that will bring them into conflict with themselves like never before. In the world that you, deep down in your heart, know you want to live in, but you're afraid to even let yourself consciously imagine it because you have been told that it's not possible. The world where there's nobody in it but people who love you and people who think like you and people who look like you is what's coming with this war. And if you have a hard time believing that, then my loved ones, you're running from the truth. If this sounds like gibberish to you, I would encourage you to keep watching it. Because heaven knows it's the only thing that's going to make you happy. If you continue in my word, you are my disciples for sure. And you'll know the truth. And the truth will make you free. See you next time.